Hello and welcome to the Poke Chalet. Today, I'm just messing around. Let's talk about running a card store in Canada. Now, one of the things that surprisingly, I guess not surprisingly, I don't mind talking about it at all, is that people often will share what they've done to become a card vendor, what they've done to become a card store. And today, I actually met a new customer, and they told me that they did all the research. And well, they did all the research into all the distributors here in Canada. They knew like the names of the distributors in Canada. They knew their reputations. They did all the research. Their first set that they're going to master is Destined Rivals. So they're sort of re-entering the Pokemon card market, and they had the same exact feeling I had when Kai and I first started collecting. In essence, everything was too expensive. Why pay a card store when I can get distribution and I can be a card store? So that's the essence of the message. They told me they did all the research. They looked everywhere. They found like information from people like me. They talked to a lot of people about distribution. They talked to a lot of people about, fees. They talked to people about the work required, about profit margins, about prices, and they decided not to open a Pokemon store. That's what they decided. So, fair decision. Fair decision. They said, well, they found people like me who, horn tooted. They found people like me who will, have singles, can do pickups. Other vendors. They found other vendors. Like their first card show that they went to didn't do a vendor, but they went to a card show with their children last weekend. It's a card show that I recommend everybody go to. It's a local card show. It happens once a month. It's actually quite good. Like it's not something we ever had like a few years ago. I don't vend it, but some of those packs have been purchased here, of course. And they decided not to. And when I spoke to them, the question was really why. And it's the same thing that you'll see any of the content creators who are complaining about getting supply, getting sealed product. It's the same complaint. No one has any product. No one can get any product. We get a little bit, but it's not enough. It's the time when everybody thinks, demand is so great. I could be growing. I could be supplying people with packs that they require and they want. They want to rip, but no one has product. You can't get product at decent prices. I shared like what I'm paying at distribution, not for allocation, not for that sweets first stuff, but I shared with them about, the prices that we pay. And they were thinking, well, it must be under MSRP. It was not. Like the current distribution prices are not under our MSRP. They're maybe $5 or $6 under market. They're not even like a good margin under market. You can't like buy them and get like 10%. They're like $5 under market. So small amounts like that. And then, of course, you got to pay for freight and you got to pay for taxes. So the decision they made was that they're not going to open a store. They're not going to jump through the hoops that, truthfully, I've done videos about how to start your Pokemon card business, about registering a business, about applying to distribution, about being a content creator like me. I've done videos all about that. And, at the time, the videos were true. But now, over time, videos have become less and less false. You cannot find, maybe you can't find like product at distribution. And I used to think it was as the latter. You buy more, so you can buy more, so you can buy more, so you can buy more. But no matter what, right now, no matter how many steps up you try to take, the escalator is going down in terms of the amount of product you're going to get. Maybe because every other brick and mortars are getting some, but I don't think that there's going to be how little product is hitting the market. Like the allocated product, the amounts allocated is so small that it's not going to impact Pokemon card pack prices. It's just not going to impact pack prices. And we have longer to go. So Black and White is coming. black and white. People want to open the newest set, of course. Lots of art rares in black and white set. It's going to be entertaining. It's going to be fun to open. A lot of people, everybody knows that when a set comes out, that's the cheapest you usually get it for. And restocks are hard to come by. That doesn't exist, right? The fact that restocks doesn't exist, it doesn't work. And it used to be the case where, over time you get more and more product, and the product would get old or get stale, and people would want to buy it. As I did other videos on Fusion Strike. Now, if you saw that video on Fusion Strike, hit the subscribe on this one, because this is sort of the core type. If you got made it this far, subscribe and like. The packs used to get more and more over time. You'd start and get your allocation, you get a bunch of cases, you'd have some booster boxes, you'd have some sleeves. They would sell slowly, not very fast. You'd have booster bundles. And then the packs would really start to arrive in the form of collection boxes. But even the collection boxes have extreme limits. Like I'm saying, we used to get multiple cases of SKUs of collection boxes. We would get multiple cases of tins. It doesn't happen anymore. There's no more multiple cases. And I was watching Mason, Cardinal Gaming. He runs a store down the States. He's just getting single units of single cases as well of SKUs. And it's really like surprising. And why start a card store when you're going to face with a lot of uphill battles? Luckily, we did a lot of our uphill running when there was ground to take, but this just doesn't exist anymore. So unfortunately, if you were thinking about starting a sealed product business, now is not the right time. It could be the right time. When you see stores like mine dropping like flies, selling all their inventory, folding. When you see stores like mine folding, when you see vendors, the number of vendors at the card shop, the card show decrease, that's the time to grow. That's the time to go to the distributors and say, you know what, it's low times now. If an account closes, let me know and I'll pick it up. It's not going to be easy. You're going to be faced with elevator going down even quicker, but at least you might have the opportunity to, if you can pull it off, get to the point where you have something. And that something is a really great feeling. It, for the longest time, didn't feel great. I get to run a card business. I get to run a Pokemon card business. It's awesome, but it's not, in the low times, you don't make money. You work as hard as you can to try to break even so you can pay your distributor bill before the next distributor bill arrives. That's what it's like in the low times. And often you might be having to sell a personal collection item to get there. You might have to sacrifice something to get that bill paid. Now you buy and you can almost everything's sold before it even arrives, which is great, right? It's a good part of this time in the market, but there's no growth, right? You get one box and you get your 10% margins, 15% margins, and then it's gone. And there's no buy more and sell more because you can't buy anymore. So that's an interesting thing about this person who came and spoke to me about should they open a card business? And they told me that they didn't. They told me all signs point that they shouldn't. And I'm looking at a guy and he's collecting and I'm thinking, that's smart, right? That's smart to make a good judgment. Normally us in the hobby and in Pokemon collecting, we're very much seeking, we don't make sound business decisions. Sometimes the business decisions work out, but we're making emotional decisions a lot of times when we're doing Pokemon collecting. And it's admirable to see someone making smart fiscal decisions. The guy probably would do very well if he could, burst through some of the hardships that he faced. But I believe many people will face that. So it's not the best time to start a Pokemon store. It's the best time to run one, but it's not the best time to grow one. Like you're staying still right now. And I hope that things get better a little bit so we get more product. But hey, I'm just complaining about something I love to do, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me right now. I'll complain about it later when it's hard to sell stuff. So here we go. One of the other things now with this limitation of product is I am starting to feel like I should start buying sealed product as people are exiting. I've seen a few exits now of sealed product, and it's mostly because things have stagnated. I've bought a few slabs of people who wanted to sell their slabs, which makes sense. People are starting to feel like it's not over, but it's toppish, and there are starting people to exit, and I'm wondering if it's time to start doing some more buying. I'm trying to find some activity so that we can buy some, sell some, and work our way through that and build ourselves up. The only challenge I have is that it wouldn't be through distribution. Like, I feel really weird buying sealed product not through distribution. It's weird. It's weird. So that's the things that you have to deal with if you're thinking about starting your own online card business. Now is definitely the time to drop things in a closet and forget about them. There's a lot of online discussions about there's the most number of Pokemon investors ever. I don't believe it. I don't really stand behind that assertion, because 4 or 5 years ago when Kai and I started, everybody was putting stuff away. Everyone was complaining about this is the most sealed product. Sword and Shield is going to be everywhere because people have closets filled with it. People were posting online, closets filled with ETBs, collection boxes. And honestly, the pictures that you see online today, only the sets are different. They're not different quantities. Like back in 5 years ago, I think you would see probably even more sets, like more quantity being purchased because, well, things were cheaper, of course. But what happened to the Swish? What happened to the Swish stuff? I mean, it got consumed, right? It got sold, it got bought, collectors consumed it. I don't think that we're sitting on a bunch of people sitting on a lot of product. I think it's no different than how to Sword Shield. And I think quantities might even be less now, but people are spending more money on it. So it's going to take maybe longer for them to recover, or maybe flatter for them to recover. But I don't think this woe is me, investors are ruining the hobby is really a factor at all. I don't think it's something that most people are not collectors of sealed product. I speak with a lot of people, most people who are buying. 95% are ripping. They're not putting aside. They're not investors. So this online, maybe it's an Americano thing, but there's no Pokemon investors. There's very few people investing in Pokemon. There's a couple of people like me who have, ETBs that they bought. They have some booster boxes sitting around. But the only other person who I know is another card store who has any type of sealed product. And he's not putting away. He's just selling at high prices. The prices have been limiting. As soon as the market ticks up, he ticks his prices up. So it makes it hard for people to feel like they're getting a good deal. He likes the premiums. So that's the thing about the current market, is I don't think anything is going to slow down. I thought that 3 months ago. I was saying that in the video. Things are going to get better. I think many of us are realizing things haven't gotten better, and they don't feel like they're going to get better. I will let people know when black and white allocations are known to me. I'm the last to know as a small card shop owner. So yeah, that's the way it goes. And I don't think we're gonna see anything but slow and steady going forward, or more of the same. I don't think things are gonna pop. I don't see a big set on the horizon. Even the megas, I don't know. Wait until we see some more spoilers. But I think we got another dud set coming up with the megas. That might be an opportunity for you to buy them, but I don't see another prismatic on the horizon, or an evolving, or a brilliant stars. So I'm curious what's going to happen next. I mean, it's a Lucario set coming up, not known for the best sets in the world, Lucario sets, but hopefully Gengar is on his way. Hopefully a Mega Gengar is on his way, and we should see some Christmas bells around Mega's Gengar when that gets announced. I hope you guys enjoy these little discussions about the Pokemon card market. This is a rare chance for me to chat about Pokemon, do brain dumps, have some fun. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you've made it this far, comment down in the chat, give me 10, and send me an email, and I'll get you a 10% off coupon for the old Poke Chalet. So hope to see you soon. Bye now.